Rob Johnson, former Chicago TV News anchor and current communications consultant, in for Steve today. And I want to talk about something pretty serious right now. Talk about hate crimes. I think everybody's thinking about them again, given what's happened with some of our current events going on in the world and certainly in our area. And you may not be aware of this, but hate crimes were up 71% in the city of Chicago in 2021, and then increased by 84% in 2022. So it's obviously an issue. And now here we are in 2023, and we're talking about hate crimes, given what's been going on around the world. Alderman Debra Silverstein from the 50th Ward has introduced some legislation trying to. It's called Shy versus Hate. It's an initiative to reverse hate crime epidemic in Chicago. The alderman is kind enough to join us on the Big 89 this morning. Alderman Silverstein, thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So obviously I teed it up with the numbers so people understand that it's on the rise. And people have seen some headlines in recent weeks that have been quite horrific. Why was now the time, and what kind of support are you receiving around City Council?
So, as you said, I'm the alderman of the 50th Ward, the most diverse ward in the city of Chicago. I'm also the only Jewish alderman that sits on City Council. And as of late, I have made speaking out against hate a priority of mine. This has started several months ago. We started looking at the hate crimes ordinance on the books, and that was written 30 years ago. And a lot has changed in the last 30 years, and we were reaching out to the city of Los Angeles and the state of California, who have also updated their hate crimes legislation. And we've been doing a lot of research with lots of different organizations, with the police, with the FBI, gathering a lot of information, and that we decided that now is the time to update the hate crimes ordinance. It's really important with hate crimes on the rise now. This ordinance includes a definition for hate incident as well, because hate incidents are precursors to crime, and I think it's important that we track those as well as the hate crimes. And also, what we found is that people really don't have a centralized location to report hate crimes. They're calling their alderman, they're calling their state representative, they're calling the police, they're calling whoever they think they should be calling. But this ordinance in Chicago would streamline that reporting process through the 311 system and the 911 system.
Which is fantastic. And Alderman, we know psychologists would say that hate spreads easier than anger. And I think when Rob gave us that stat, it's up 71% over the last, since 2021. Wow, 71% since 2021 is a lot. With this ordinance, and they report the hate crime to 311, give us the reason why people would feel more confident to report the hate crime than they would today.
Well, first of all, that percentage that you have is grossly underreported because people aren't reporting them. So the numbers are actually higher than what we have from being reported. And just speaking with all of these different organizations, we're finding that the organizations aren't talking to each other. So what the goal is to try to get accurate numbers for hate crimes and hate incidents. And so if we have one central location, getting those numbers and talking to organizations, we can, at least have a better understanding of what's going on and also the ability to track them. Hate incidents are precursors to crime. So if the police or if any organization is seeing an uptick in hate incidents in a particular area, it would give us the opportunity to ward off, a possible hate crime in the future.
Alderwoman, you had mentioned it in the beginning there. You are in a very diverse ward up there, far north side. You've got the Devon and Ridge area all along Devon Avenue, very mixed. It's probably the largest melting pot within the city. Do we know where the hate crimes happen? Is it up where you are, where every time I'm on Devon Avenue, it seems like everybody's pretty much in harmony? I mean, you got Muslims and Jewish all sharing the sidewalk together. I mean, is there anything, or would this kind of, what you're introducing would kind of help us pinpoint where some trouble spots are within the city?
Exactly, the latter. There are hate crimes happening all over the city. The majority of hate crimes in the United States are committed against the Black Americans. Hate crimes are increasing in the LGBTQ community. It's happening all over, and so this would give us the chance to track them throughout the entire city, and hopefully, with this legislation, other municipalities will start doing the same thing, because I think it's really important that we have better record keeping of hate crimes and hate incidents.
Given what's going on in the Middle East right now, and because of the diversity of your ward, is tensions high there in the community?
You know, I pride myself on having the most diverse ward in the city of Chicago, and I also, whenever I speak about my ward, I talk about how we all get along with one another. We all respect each other, and, you know, I am hoping that is going to continue. I have not seen any change in that. We all really respect each other and get along. And I say if the rest of the world can look at us, we would all be in a better place.
That's great.
That's fantastic.
I think it's wonderful that you're taking the lead on this and acknowledging the diversity that you have in your ward, and that you're trying to make Chicago a better place. Alderman Debra Silverstein from the 50th Ward, thanks for joining us so much on the Big 89. We appreciate it.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Debra.
Absolutely. I mean, this
Great
is,
work.
and you know, she was talking about having a reporting apparatus, which there isn't one right now, because normally if it's deemed a hate crime, then you have to get the feds involved. But if you had something at a more local or state level that had teeth in it, it might, it might give. I'm not saying it would deter them. I'm saying it would give the people who are the victims of it better resources. Right. And I think that's very important.
That's true.
And it would give more information to the city overall to figure out how to deal with some of this stuff.
And the other thing that's good is they're rewriting it and updating it, and they're looking at other law enforcement agencies. They're looking at other states and seeing what they're doing to add some of the innovations to our ordinance that we can use here to help suppress hate crime.